Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from
your company name here.
Studios in Cape Coral, Florida. It's the What's in Your Head podcast with your hosts Gordon and Don Abernathy.
And we need to add Mike to that list. I need to have Carrie re-record that. And by the way, if you want this to be your company's podcast studio, send us an email at info@d-410.com. We're practically giving sponsorships away. So if you want some next to free advertising for a little bit than nothing, send us an email to info@d-410.com. Gordon is out. Mike is in. It's like the square dance between two guys. Wait a minute. So anyhow, what's up, fella?
Rewind that back a little bit there, buddy.
Rewind, roll track, pull tape. What is that? Cottonmouth Kings. Rewind, pull slack, roll track, whatever. What the fuck
I
ever.
don't remember.
Whatever. Nobody cares.
Not much though. What's up, dude?
Living the nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, this goes out to all the parents of 15-year-old kids who don't want to listen and just leave the fucking house whenever they want.
Oddly enough, it seems like you know, at least every time that I'm on, it's a broken record.
Yeah.
Non-stop, all the time, on the go.
Yeah.
Teenage kid.
You know, I got two Boston Terriers, and they like to chew on shoes.
Sure.
They like to sleep in closets
Sure.
because we don't crate train our dogs.
Okay.
And some people think crate trading's mean, but once you don't crate trade a dog and you realize they either sleep under your bed or in your walk-in closet because it's a nice dark place with a single entry point that they can keep an eye on, they feel safe, much like a kennel. So my dogs essentially kennel train themselves. My Rat Terrier slept in the closet, my Beagle slept in the closet, and both my Boston Terriers like to sleep in the closet, but once again, they also like to chew on shoes, so the two shall not go together. So one day I was heading off to work, and I had to get the TREATs out. Can't say it, because one, I'm sleeping right here. And my daughter was walking in the kitchen. I said, yeah, it's sad. I know you guys like to enjoy sleeping in the closet, but because you refuse to change your behavior, there's consequences, and you're no longer going to have access to the closet when I'm not home. I turned around to her and said, see, there's consequences when you refuse to change your behavior. If you don't change your behavior, I have to change the environment. That's why you don't have an Xbox. But I digress. It's good. My point is, if it's good enough for the dog, it's good enough for the 15-year-old, all right?
Hey.
Because after all, most people love dogs better than people, so.
We're breaking down barriers here.
We're breaking down barriers. We're all about the dogs. Did I tell you I found out? So you're a Stan Haney listener, and if you're a listener for the longest time, you've heard anytime Wu-Tang Clan comes up, you hear Mike Haney make the joke, the reference to when Old Dirty Bastard, Big Baby Jesus, Dirt McGirt, ran up on stage. I think it was at the Emmys or the Music Awards after they lost, and he grabbed the microphone. This was long before Kanye did it to Little Blonde Girl, and everybody thought he was mean. This goes back a ways. And Old Dirty Bastard said they should have won because Wu-Tang is for the children. And that kind of came the audible meme. Before memes on the internet, it was Wu-Tang is for the children. And people just, oh, that's crazy, Old Dirty Bastard. Well, they didn't, I don't think they've covered it. I'm only on episode 2 of season 2 of the Wu-Tang story on Hulu, which is quite good, especially if you're a Wu-Tang Clan fan. But afterwards, I would like to do a little research. And, because despite the fact that I can name all of them, I don't know off memory what a lot of them looked like when they were in their 20s and 18s. And so watching the show, I'm trying to figure out before they became Wu-Tang Clan, when they were just crack dealing street gangsters shooting at each other, which person turned into which performer. And so I'm looking at the actors, trying to figure out who's RZA, who's going to turn into Jizza, who's going to be You God, who's going to be Master Killer, who's going to be Papa Don, who's going to be, well, you know Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard and RZA right away.
Well, so explain this a little bit. It's not really like a documentary.
It's like a 4-series, like straight up. Here's how it happened. Like this starts when they were literally competing crack dealers. And did you ever watch Top Boy on Netflix? It's the British crack dealing gang movie.
I'm not sure that I have.
Where they refer to the drugs as food, and because they're on the pound system instead of dollars, they refer to their money as peas because they're stacking peas. P's, pounds,
Right.
instead of
Gotcha.
dollars. Well, in that show, there's two rival gangs, and the gangs, much like in real life, are basically based on which project building they live in, which neighborhood they live in. Well, Wu-Tang's the same way. You had half of them over here in Staten Island, half of them over here in this other building in Staten Island. And so each gang had their own, gangsters, and they had their own way of dealing drugs. And obviously, I want
Territory, all that shit.
my, I want to sell my crack more than you sell yours because, you're taking profits away from me. And shit pops off, I might just have to come shoot up your house.
Right.
It's normal 90s content.
Typical.
You hear these young kids, these Gen Zers, talking about how rough they have it. Well, back when I was growing up, you got shot over your fucking Jordans. So, cry me a story about the fact that you can't wear purple hair on Tuesday at work. Don't even get me started on the starter jackets, no pun intended. But anyhow, and so it's amazing when you're watching this show and you see these guys literally shooting up each other's house to know at some point they joined a group and traveled around the world together. It's like, wow, you really gotta love music and the desire to make millions of dollars to put down the fact that your future bandmate literally shot up your house when your two disabled brothers were sitting in the living room. But
Bringing it together.
But no, it's a good series. But I living in the night, growing up in the '90s, I had Wu-Tang's first album. Enter the Wu-Tang or 36 Chambers, whatever you want to refer to it. I had their second or third album. Then I just kind of moved on in my life. But it's cool to watch RZA as he's got his old DAT player, his old piano, and start mixing out the tones. Like, oh, I recognize that. That's, Protect Your Neck, or what the hell is the name of the song? Same as It Ever Was. And so it's kind of cool, and seeing the struggles and how Method Man actually was the manager at the gift shop at Statue of Liberty. He was never into gangs. He was never, he smoked a hell of a lot of weed, but he was one of the members who really wasn't in the street gang thing. He just loved hip hop, and so he was actually a manager at the gift shop at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty until he hurt his ankle and they laid him off. But anyhow, as time goes by, I'm watching this show, and it's a damn good show. It's like season 2, episode 3, and they haven't even formed the band yet. RZA had a solo career, and which is crazy. I never knew this. At some point, his mom got back with his brother's father, and they moved to Ohio, to this little fucking town. Christ, I just forgot the name of it. It's just I think it was, I don't remember. I just remember some kid I used to go to school with always went there, but it's cool. It's got some Ohio connections, but it's definitely a good show. Didn't mean to go into a Netflix review or Roku or whatever streaming channel is on, but just back to the whole Wu-Tang's for the children thing. Long route to get there. So watching this show and doing a little research, I came across of the story about how that happened. And what happened was, this was later in their careers, and hell, Dirty Bastard may have already done his appearance on the ICP album at that point, but he was in the recording studio working on his solo album, and there was a car accident outside the studio, at which point like a 1995 Mustang GT got hit, T-bone, rolled over, and pinned a 5-year-old underneath it. And he heard the ruckus, went outside and saw this 5-year-old pinned under a Mustang, and he basically organized the spectators to lift up the car, not pull it off, and pull the kid out, and thus rescue his life. And then he spent 3 days at the hospital, this kid that he never met, keeping an eye on him, and then ended up the music award, had a few drinks, and went up there and proclaimed that Wu-Tang is for the children. And so if you ever hear that reference when it comes to Old Dirty Bastard, and people are saying it like he's crazy or in a joking manner, yeah, he may have been drunk, but he was in fact for the children. And so that's how that whole thing came to be. And it's just one of those weird things you stumble on when you find yourself going down a YouTube rabbit hole.
Well, and it's also kind of funny to hear, especially growing up listening to Stan and Haney,
Mm-hmm.
and just catching all the references and stuff like that. Like when I know, I at least I think Haney's probably making fun of it a little bit, but it's just funny to hear him say stuff like that.
Oh, they can't really do them. They can't play them now because now that they're streaming online and there's algorithms,
Yeah.
all of the cover songs they did can't be played anymore because they'll get hit with copyright infringement. And so when Tommy and Haney are reciting damn near word for word Run DMC's It's Tricky to Rock a Rhyme,
Yeah.
you'll never hear it again. They
Yeah.
can't play it on the air again. There's so many of those that you won't be able to play.
Yeah.
Have you been to Mission Barbecue? And no, this is not a
I-
paid for spot. I wish it was. Hell, I'd do the spot for some protein.
Oh yeah. I've gotten not catering, but I've takeout.
Don't sleep on Mission Barbecue. One opened up down the street from us. And I remember the night before, me, Carrie, and Sariano went to McDonald's. We just got done fishing. 3 combo meals with inflation dropped like $35,
Mm-hmm.
close to 40. Interestingly enough, I saw an article where the CEO is concerned of McDonald's because he's starting to get kickback on their prices. And I saw a very astute young man on TikTok, probably about 42, a brother say, hey, McDonald's, you need to stay in your lane. You forgot who you are and who you were. We never went to McDonald's because of the quality and the taste of your food. We went to McDonald's because we were broke as fuck and we could afford your stuff. And so now that you went from having $1.50 sandwiches to like $7 combos before you upgrade your fries and your drink, and now you used to be able to get 3 combo meals and feed your family for $15. Now it's $30 to feed 3 of you, and you still got the soggy fries, the shitty drinks, and all that. So we try not to go to McDonald's too often. We try to cook a lot at home, but lately things have been awry, and we're here and there and fucking everywhere. Down to 1 car right now, but we'll get that in a moment. I got to add that to the list. 1 car, 2 people. That sounds like a video I've seen once before.
Ooh.
Ooh. So we went to McDonald's. We like to go every once in a while to remind ourselves why we no longer go to McDonald's. It's a nice
Don't look that up,
refresher.
kids.
It's a nice refresher. Every once in a while you got to remind yourself why you stopped doing things.
Yeah.
Every once in a while take a drag off cigarette and cough and taste the taste of an ashtray. Oh yeah, that's why I don't do it anymore. And so we went there and we're annoyed at the amount of money because everything is fucking expensive. It's insane.
Inflation.
I think if
ridiculous.
you're watching this show or listening to the audio, we all can agree that we're all probably hypothetically, numerically making more money than we probably have when we were younger. But logistically and inflation-wise, we're broke as fuck because that money we're making now means nothing because it's just being sucked down in fucking inflation cost.
Yeah. As of right now, not to boast or brag, but this is the most money I've ever made in my life.
But but when you pay all your bills and how much you have left, it's about the same as you were making 7 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, no complaints. You
Yeah.
know, I have nice things. I have a place. I have a vehicle. I'm not shitting on any of that.
But if you were making this money 5 years ago, your quality of life would be 25% better, if not 30.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it's amazing what one administration can do.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we were driving around, Carrie and I, after we were getting ready to go fishing, or we were going fishing, or we were doing something with fishing or kayaks, because, well, that's what we do in this family. They opened a Mission Barbecue down the street.
Hell yeah.
And I heard some stuff about it. I heard it's pretty cool. I heard every day at noon they play the national anthem and people actually stand for it. So that's kind of cool. And it's close to the house. So we pulled in there and walked in there. And it's cool. They got first responder patches, but more importantly, military patches, division patches. I will got to say some of them are nailed upside down because the person with the hammer doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. But, hey, they're still there. They got some cool pictures of people in their service uniforms. But more importantly, I'm trying to remember what I got. I got Texas-styled moist. And they ask you.
Ooh.
Do they say to you, do you want it?
It's a no bones day, I just stay in.
Who moved my sound effects?
That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. My moist button
Get
is
your
gone.
Shit together. What is wrong with you?
I need to fire our...
Board's fucked up.
I got to fire our producer. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have... If you want to be a producer, if you're interested in producing the What's in Your Head podcast, so I have someone to fire, please email info@d-410.com. Anyhow, they asked me if I wanted it wet or moist. And, of course, I said yes. So I got a big-ass
Of course.
dollop of meat.
Mm.
What did I say it was? I done plumb forgot.
Texas
Brisket.
brisket.
Got a big old sliced up brisket, coleslaw, big old cornbread, served to you on brown butcher paper and a steel tray.
Yeah.
Plastic forks, much like the chow line. Carrie got a jalapeno infused sausage. Technically, it's
Ooh.
probably 2 of them. A la carte, not in a sandwich, so straight protein, same butcher block paper, with their specialized macaroni and cheese.
Okay. Okay.
and 2 drinks. She could not finish her sausage because it was so big. She couldn't handle it all. She had to take some home. And I made it through my brisket, and I was full. Bottle of Mexican Coke, big ass helping of brisket, a big ass thing of coleslaw would probably equal a medium at KFC. Her jalapeno infused sausages, probably 2 of them slit down the middle, cut in half, quartered. Big old helping of macaroni and cheese, and a large Mountain Dew for $33.
Wow.
Now, granted, there's only 2 of us, but we were able to feed ourselves a much better food for the same price of the slop, the cold fries, the wafer thin. Have you noticed how thin that fucking hamburger's getting?
Yep. It's getting worse and worse.
You know what fills you up? The bun. It's all bun, no meat. It's like the old Wendy's needs to bring back the commercial "Where's the beef?" but they're just as guilty, so they can't do that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's so good. We went back there again tonight because, you know, the kid's not home. You know, she comes home and is like, "What's for dinner?" I'm like, simple policy. You want dinner, you got to be home at dinner time. You can't show up at 9:30 and say, "Where's the fucking beef?" It don't work that way. You cook for yourself. You know, if you're going to go out and pretend to be an adult, you can come home and serve yourself an adult. Or if you want to eat dinner, be home at dinner time. What time's dinner time? You're old enough to know. Figure it out.
Get your shit together, shitbag.
Yeah. So yeah, don't sleep on Mission Barbecue. It's really good, and it's for the price, the quality of food. Yeah.
Can't beat it.
And you're in and out of there. That's the other thing too. I'm sure if you want to do a blind taste test, some diehard Florida crackers will say like Rib City's better or Sonny's is better. I doubt it, but you know what the big difference is? You're not sitting down at a table and waiting 20 minutes to get your food.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, you'll see the lady walking in with a big old pile of quartered fucking wood, putting it in the smoker that's in-house. They're not cooking it out in some greasy-ass smoker out in the back, which does provide flavor. They actually have smokers in the building, and they're just constantly rotating it through. So for fast barbecue that you don't have to sit at a table, you don't have to sit there and burn an hour, because Carrie and I are the fastest non-competition eaters in all Southwest Florida. So when we go to a place, we like to get our food right away. We eat it and consume it, and usually out of the building before the last guy in line even puts his order through, because, you know, acid reflux is our friend.
Sure.
Because there's nothing better when you get in your 40s and consuming your food as fast as you can.
Mission Barbecue, speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
Did you try the beans?
No, I'm not a bean fan.
Really?
Even as a World War II reenactor,
You can't
I can't do
scarf
baked
down
beans.
Those, you
I'll eat
can't
black
scarf down
beans.
those refried beans in a packet?
I'll eat refried beans at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
I make black beans here and put them on my burritos and my chimichangas
But no
and
baked
my
beans.
quesadillas. But when it comes to what are those, kidney beans soaked in brown sugar and molasses,
I thought they were pinto.
what? No, don't eat it. But no, I'm sorry. I've heard a lot of these places have good baked beans. It's just not my bag. Maybe it's all the bad fart jokes from the 70s and 80s, like in Blazing Saddles, when they're all sitting around and eating beans out of can and just farting and ripping shits.
All right. Don't anybody listen to what Don just said.
Baked beans are bad.
If you're gonna go to Mission, try the beans. If you
Try the
like the
beans.
beans, you enjoy ingesting the beans, try the beans. We had a party. What was it? Probably, I don't know if it was child 1 or child 2 for Ron. And he told me to stop by there and pick up a vat.
A vat?
Not you know,
A
little
plethora?
big- It was a bucket. And
Now,
it had to have been a gallon.
1870s corrugated steel bucket or 2023 plastic Lowe's bucket?
No, it was it was just a plastic. It did have a lid too, so it was just a plastic bucket. I think maybe it said Mission Barbecue on the side, but I think
Fun
it was
fact,
one-
I don't want to interrupt, but I'll lose it. If you're in the market for a bucket and you don't want to go spend $8 at Lowe's, you can go to any Firehouse sub and buy their pickle bucket. It's the same size as $3. It's the bucket that their pickle comes in. Go ahead. Hot bucket.
That's a good
dog.
point. Took that over to Ron's place, had the party and everything. They were gone within like 45 minutes.
How does one reheat a bucket of beans?
Well, and that's the thing. They actually stayed pretty warm throughout travel. because I went to the mission on 41, and
The original one.
he used to live down off of Golden Gate Estates, and that's a pretty far drive.
I guess if you scrape off the top layer, yeah, they probably do insulate the middle layer pretty good.
Well,
Or
actually,
give it a nice stir. Do you have to use like a stucco drill, like when you stir it up? Put the big auger on it?
pour it into a small crock pot or any crock pot if you have one. Turn it on medium, low, whatever.
Put a Sterno can underneath it.
Good to go. Hey, man, don't sleep on baked beans.
Did your... I guess I'll just ask you and see if you can finish. Beans, the magical fruit.
The more you eat, the more you toot, poop, whatever. I mean, people say it differently.
Continue.
I don't know the rest of it.
See,
I really don't.
Your generation got the sloppy seconds. My generation had the first of it. These are the things that led me away from beans. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So why not eat beans with every meal?
It's the right saying.
Yeah.
It's correct. It doesn't lie. They're delicious. Have a scoop.
Yeah, you don't want to know the nursery rhyme that has to do with the Asian fellow taking a piss in your Coke. Oh, yep.
Speaking of Coke, did you know, this is just a little fun fact that popped into my head. Did you know that waitresses years ago, if you ordered a Coke and it came out of the soft drink machine,
Mm-hmm.
waitresses years ago would put their finger in the top of it to get the fizz to go down faster?
I believe it.
That's an old, diner kind of trick.
Yeah, it's kind of
type
like the
thing.
whole, what was it, is like the nose grease to kill the head on your beer or some shit.
Kinda, yeah.
You ever been to like a real hot dog shop where they put that little metal thing on their arm, they stack the hot dogs up, and they put the chili on it?
I have not.
Well, back before we
Do
had
you have any around here?
Skyline used to do it. Now the ladies there just put it on a plate because they're lazy. But that metal sleeve, that's a new thing. When I was growing up, they just put it right on their hairy arm. Just like when you see the guys. How do they still allow... that surprises me that we still see guys doing hand-tossed pizza without having a glove that the farmers wear when they stick their hands up a cow's ass. Because if you think about it, when they're throwing it, it's hitting their arms and getting arm hair in your dough. So why aren't they not... I mean, not that I care. I'm a guy who's anti-gloves at a fast food restaurant. I don't know if you've ever been on the show for this story. Have I told you my theory behind this?
No, but I think I know where you're going with this.
I worked at Wendy's through the 90s. It was actually... I worked at Wendy's when they instated the new cup per refill plan. And it was because 60 Minutes did a fast food restaurant study, and they found that most sources of E. coli came from the ice bin from when they would take the cup and dig it in there to get more ice for
Right.
the refills. The wax would get and dirty people touching shit.
Bacteria and all that shit.
And so Wendy's reinstated two things, and I still do one of it, is we would have the customer remove their lid and keep their straw. And then either A, they got a new cup, or you would have to use the ice scooper and scoop the ice in the cup. You cannot take the cup and go, which makes sense now. Well, same thing. They said, hey, no putting hot dogs up your arm, and now you got to wear rubber gloves when you make food.
Well, and just to kind of point this out, I think the thing with the pizza
Mm-hmm.
is it's not cooked yet,
Yeah, it's going to burn.
and when it cooks, it's killing off all that bacteria and shit anyway. So that's why I don't think it's a big deal.
Sure. And hair burns at a very low burn temperature rate.
Right.
And
Anyway,
so
continue.
you have to wear these rubber gloves.
Right.
And if you ever watch like Hell's Kitchen or any of those top-end, high-quality food restaurants, none of those cats were wearing rubber gloves.
Nope.
I don't know this for sure. I'm making this up as we go along, but based off of what few years I had working in restaurants, when you're cooking and preparing food, a lot of it is based on your senses. Sense of smell, sense of your vision. Got to see if the shit looks rotten. Smell if it looks rotten. You'll see the high-end cats taking samples. Oh, you burned the risotto, or taste, and more importantly, feel.
Absolutely.
How do you know if a bun is stale, Mike?
You squeeze it.
It's hard and crunchy, and you can feel it. Much like wearing a condom, Sometimes it dulls the senses. And so you may not be able to determine if said buns are nice and supple and good to go, or if maybe they've been toasted a little long, put away hard. When you're making a sandwich and you're wrapping it up and it gets a little messy, you can feel the mayonnaise and the ketchup on your fingers. You would wipe it on your apron. Now they just wear t-shirts and jeans. You would take it out. You would put a new piece of paper on it. You would wrap it up, kick it to the curb. When you have gloves on your hands, you don't feel that moisture. You don't feel the funk. So now people get their sandwiches. There's fucking mayonnaise and mustard and ketchup smeared all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And what negates the whole principle is how many times do you ask yourself why? How many times do you cry? How many times have you been in line? And explain to them you can make limestone from gun. No, that's wrong. Have you seen the guy in the sandwich station or the fry station pull out their cell phone, take that same glove, and start finger fucking their screen?
Yep.
And then put the phone back away and go back to making food?
Yep.
With a bunch of... For those you've worked in a restaurant, you may ran your hand under the board or go to open a drawer and get a little bit of scub on your finger. Like, ooh, that's fucking gross. Once again, you'd wipe it off. You got
Scubba.
gloves on, you don't feel the scubba.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't change the gloves. And so my theory is things are worse, probably more spread of bacteria with the rubber gloves on because people aren't washing their hands because they don't feel the scub on themselves.
Absolutely.
Every once in a while, if they touch money, then they pull the gloves off so they don't get the scub on the money that ends up. But now everybody's doing tap to pay. That's gone. So I'm a big proponent of losing the gloves, giving everybody aprons and fucking towels. And so when they get scub on their hands, unless they're a complete gross bastard, which probably wouldn't last long in the food industry. Well, nobody wants to work, so probably. Anyhow, hypothetically, more people would be more prone to wash their hands more consistently because they would feel the funk on their hands instead of on the gloves.
You know the one that I hate? The one move when you see like a fast food worker or something like that. They come in. You know, I get it. I've worked fast food myself. Clearly. McDonald's.
We're talking
Taco
working
Bell.
fast food, not eating fast food.
You know, I've worked in all these places, and the one move that I've always hated is this.
Oh.
With the glove on.
That was the purpose of the hat. That's why you
Give
have a
me-
visor.
Give me a fucking break.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's hot back there. It's, you know, you're trying to pump food out and shit like that, but that's what you're doing. You're
That's
pumping
what-
food out.
That's why you're supposed to wear headgear because they have sweatband in it. Whether it's a visor for the
Yep.
chicks, a hat for a dude, or worst case scenario, you pull it off, you bend over, you take the apron, but once again, they don't wear aprons anymore. It's fucking gross.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I get so hard on, boy, we're full of double entendres tonight. I get so hard on fast food cats because it seems like I was able to do with a crew of 16 and 17-year-olds what seems it can't be done with a crew of 28 and 30-year-olds now.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
if you want to
and-
spend the same amount of money on better food and better service, go to Mission Barbecue. You'll thank me for it.
Mission Barbecue.
Mission Barbecue.
A lot of the, not to really, you know,
Hammer on fast food joints.
yeah, but in the same respect, you know, it's McDonald's, it's Wendy's, it's Burger King.
But see,
it's
now
Taco Bell.
it is just McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly, because it's gotten that reputation over years.
Well, no,
but-
because the quality of the food's gone down because they tried to maintain the prices, but the food's got more expensive because we started fucking putting goddamn corn in our fuel, drove up the price of corn, which is what we feed our cows and chickens, thus driving up the cost of food long before the inflation.
Right. No, I get all that. But it's just, to me, it's you when you walk into a place like McDonald's, you kind of have an expectation right from the get-go.
Yeah,
It's
but
not good for you. It's not good for you. It doesn't look that appetizing when you get it, unlike when it's up on the board or when you see it on TV or something like that. You kind of know what you're getting, but it's way overpriced these days.
Mhm.
I absolutely agree.
and with that being said, if you think a sit-down restaurant that has a bunch of Italian family members' photos up on the wall, not the one with the breadsticks, but the other one, if you think that place is any better, I've done work at those places, repairing printers and whatnots. let's just say they need to get the Orkin man up in their places real quick. There's grease they're fucking gross. If you ever, as an electrician, Mike's an AC guy, does commercial shit. If you ever do any service work as an outsider in a sit-down restaurant, you will go home and say, honey, we're cooking home for now fucking on.
I'm a plumber.
Oh, even worse. Yeah. Getting that hot. See, that's the hillbilly man. I was going to say the hot water heater. No, dickhead. It's cold water until it heats it. It's a water heater. But no, we rednecks refer to it as a hot water heater. You talk to anybody from Kentucky, Tennessee, they'll tell you they need a new hot water heater.
I say the same thing. I'm from here. So.
Yeah, it's just goofy. Real quick, another show I'm watching, 1883, because now I cut the cord and I have Paramount Plus. You watch you a Yellowstone fan?
I started watching the first couple of episodes
Of Yellowstone or 1883?
Yellowstone.
I've been a long-time Yellowstone guy. I've been down since day one. I'm not one of these Johnny-come-lately, ooh, Yellowstone. It's a good show.
Me.
Problem with Yellowstone is, so after about season 2, you're like, okay, it's the same fucking plot every season, but
Yeah.
whatever. That's part of the reason why Homeboy wants to leave. 1883, I'm only in 4 episodes in, but that's a damn good show. But I got ears and I got eyes, see? And as a young kid, I've always been able to pick out the voiceover work of actors. I got a fine-tuned ear long before I worked in radio and podcast. I can hear it. And like on episode 1, there's 2 cameos that are not credited at the beginning credits. And since this takes place in 1883, as you can imagine, facial hair and beards are in vogue, especially when they cut to Civil War battle scenes, which they do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where what you would refer to as Great Granddad Dutton, but at the time it's just James because he's in his 40s, but they're flashing back to him after he loses a battle near Gettysburg, and he's sitting on a weapons crate and all haggard and bloody and got his beard and staring out over the battlefield, and all his men are dying. And in the background you see the Yankees come by, and you see one get off the horse, and you just see his chest down, and walks over and puts his hand on his shoulder and sits down from one commander to another who's dealt the horrors of fucking Civil War. I mean, war's bad enough, but the type of war where you literally stand in a soccer field and shoot at each other, that's a whole level of crazy.
Yep.
Especially when they get the cannons and the Gatling guns out.
Yep.
And I'm watching him, looking at his eyes. Full beard, full fucking Yankee get up, full beard, but it's the eyes and the voice. I'm like, that's fucking Tom Hanks. Get out the Google phone. Just typed in Google Tom Hanks 1883. Boom, popped up. It's like, yes, nailed it. You can't get one past me. And like next episode, sheriff walks in, hat, old guy, bald head, goatee. Hear him talking. It's fucking Billy Bob Thornton. Get out the Google machine. Billy Bob Thornton. Yes, nailed fucking 2 of them. There's a bunch of famous cameos in that show. That's a damn good show. So that's another one to check out. 1883.
Hell yeah.
That good stuff. Oh, you weren't here last week. Did you watch my last fishing video?
Was it a full-length video posted to YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched it yet.
Gordon kind of shit on my point as he does. That's kind of his job on here. But I presented my theory of consistency creates complacency, which equals loss, damage, or injury.
Sure.
You and I have done a lot of kayaking together.
Absolutely.
We've driven from here to Lake Okeechobee and back.
Absolutely.
I've never taken a seat off my kayak.
Can confirm.
Lifetime, it straps down, it bolts down, it's fucking in there. Drove from fucking down State Road 82 at 70 mile an hour. That thing stacked on top of yours, not a problem. Had a Von Hunks kayak tandem. That's twice the seats. Put them back in my truck. Carrie and I drove it all over God's Green Earth, Lakes Park. Even took the Lakes Park for a run. Never lost a seat. Seat straps in, cinches down. Bob's your uncle.
This sounds like a bad story about Vibe.
Carrie got another Lifetime Teton, rinse and repeat. My Vibe kayak seat has 2 rubber bands that go up and then clip. Drove 1.5 miles away. I've used it 15 times. Was out one night, came home, and went to unload my kayak, and lo and behold, my fucking seat's gone. Well, not a big deal. It's only 1.5 miles away. What possibly could have happened to a $150 seat sitting in the middle of the street in 1.5 miles? Unloaded my shit post haste, turned around, drove that route twice, and my truck came home, got the car with Carrie so she could poke her head out the other side. Thing is Gone. Gone. Two theories.
Snag that shit.
Either A, it fell in a seat, so I pulled up and said, ooh, I got me a $150 beach chair.
Mm-hmm.
Or more probable, it fell on the ground, somebody hit it with their car, got caught on their fairing, and they drug it down fucking Diplomat for 4.5 miles.
Outstanding.
Either way, Gone. Yeah. We got an extra kayak. Next time I go out, I put the old Lifetime Teton chair on there. It's a little shallow. It needs to be about 2 inches longer. It barely fit. I had to kind of sit on it, but it fit down in there and strapped it in. Sat in it, and I said, wait a gosh darn minute. Why is the seat off of a $380 kayak you get at Dick's Sporting Good more comfortable than the seat off of a, granted, I didn't pay this cost. I bought it secondhand off Facebook Marketplace, but brand new at another sporting goods store, about a $1,200 kayak. Why is the seat more comfortable? This should not be.
Right.
There's two major components to a kayak. The fucking kayak and the seat. I mean, that's
Right.
all there is. Now, if you go out and buy a Lifetime Tamarack, yes, you're going to get a folding back and a chunk of styrofoam to sit on, but that's a $200 kayak.
Right.
We're talking a $1,200 kayak. I'm like, man, if this thing just fit a little bit better, I'd say fuck it and keep the seat, because I have two Lifetimes now, and one of them's old little Steve, which I have a plan for. I just got to get a hold of somebody. It's got a hole in it, so I can't sell it, so I want to give it away. And I have an idea, but I got to find this fella. Remember the guy who was fishing I told you was fishing on the backside of Zurich, who told me I should go out and cast because the fish were jumping, and I went out there and caught the 5-pound fish, and ever since I've been out there topwater fishing.
Yeah, wasn't he in one of your videos?
Yeah, his name's Jeff. He would show up every once in a while in shoreline fish. I want to track Jeff down and give him Little Steve. The dude has a truck. So that's the thing, too. I can't just give it to anybody. They got to have a fucking truck. You're going to be putting a kayak on top of your car, and you're tired, and you're going to drop. It's going to dent your roof, and it'll be my fault.
Right.
Thing's got a hole in it. It's patched up, but still, I'm already the second user. I can't justify selling a third-hand used kayak. What am I going to do? Here's $50, No. I want to give it to Jeff, so I got to find Jeff. So maybe Jeff will see this, and he can reach out to me. Jeff, I want to give you a kayak. You say, well, Don, why would you want to give him a kayak? You only have 3. I'll get that in a minute, because now we have 4. But first, I have a problem with comfort and seating. And so I end up, long story short, having to, and this is an update, people haven't heard this part, I went online and I ordered a new seat. You can't buy the OEM seat, what they refer to as the Hero seat, but they will sell you the Hero 2 seat for $160. They claim the Hero 2 seat is the most comfortable seat they provide, and it does have the ability to add on the perch that you stand on top of, which would make me think that the Elephant 120 would be even more unstable. I don't know. Because the perch, it's basically a over-glamorized piece of plywood with some fucking grip tape on it and some feet that clamp to the back of the seat, cost about $110. I haven't pulled that trigger yet. But the nice advantage of the Hero 2 seat, I'm guessing they saw a YouTube video that went around where this guy was lamenting about the biggest problem about the Hero 1 seat is the horizontal bar goes straight across. And there's
on
only...
on the underside?
Sorry, the kid just came home, so the dogs are barking. And
On
so...
is it on the underside of the seat?
It's on the front underneath the underside. It's the main support.
Right.
And
Okay.
so by that bar being there, you only have about 5 inches between the bottom of the bar and the bottom of the seat. But underneath the seat, you got like 2 feet from the bottom. And so on the Hero 2 seat, they bent that bar almost like the top of an octagon. So now it opens up the area. And so now I got me a nice, Rubbermaid bin. I slide under there and I have all my soft baits in there, kind of like your fancy one underneath your seat. Mine's from Dollar General. So anyhow, put that seat on. It's pretty comfortable. Not complaining. And Carrie's been wanting to get a pedal kayak for like a year and a half. And as I explained, with the insurance and the roof and the free gutters and the free stuff, with the free vent and all that, we had a little extra insurance money that we had to spend on the roof. So it's found money. Didn't come out of our tax returns. Didn't come out of our paycheck. It's found money. So she wants to get a kayak. So we went up to Staro River Outfitters and we rented a Hobie Outback 10-foot paddle kayak. Pedal kayak. I always say paddle. They're all paddle, dickhead. And she tested it out. I'll try to get the 12 foot. Go with the 12 foot. 10 foot. That's 10 and a half feet, but your kayak at home's 10 foot. Your Lifetime Teton's 10 foot. If you're going to get a new kayak, get a bigger kayak. Has more surface area. Plus, by the way, with the pedals, you're losing deck space. You don't have the deck space to lay shit out in front of you now. You don't have a place to put your pole. Get the big one. She went with the 10 foot. Fine. Because it was cheaper than the 12 foot. Took it out. Well, when she rented the one, she's like, God damn, the seat's uncomfortable. It's a rental. Probably had a lot of fat asses break it in. She buys the brand new one. We come straight home, get out in the water. God damn, my ass hurts. I'm like, what? That's a fucking $1,800 kayak. I think my Lifetime seat's more comfortable than this. So once again, which this will result in a YouTube video where I compare the seats between a Vibe, a Von Hunks, a Lifetime, and a Hobie, and figure out why a seat on a $350 kayak seems to be more comfortable than one on a $2,000 kayak. But we'll say that for the YouTube channel. And so I finally got updated. I got my seat. She got her kayak, and I'm going to do a review on that later. And so we went topwater fishing, and I crushed it. Caught like 5 or 6 2-3 pound bass all on topwater, all on my new boat.
Nice.
And then we went up the other day. Didn't go to the backside of Zurich. We wanted to go somewhere new. Well, not new, but someplace we haven't been in a while. So we went to Gator Circle.
Yeah.
Got my dick kicked in. Didn't catch a fuck all. Nothing's out there hitting on topwater. Nothing's biting on worms. Caught one bass. Caught a bottlenose turtle on my topwater, which was a nightmare. Because not only was he trying to pull his head in, he was trying to kick it off. So he had one treble hook in his paw, one treble hook in his head, and he's trying to pull the whole damn contraption into his shell, which would have been an effing nightmare if those treble hooks would have went inside that shell.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, Carrie in the Hobie, she can, dude, that thing hauls ass. She can zip over there real quick. She had the net. We put the turtle in the net, and she's like, oh, my God, what does that smell? It's like, it's this fucking turtle because they're covered in moss and mold, and they live in these shitty waters all the time.
Mud
the turtle
shit.
smells just as bad as the gar does.
Mm-hmm.
Get the thing off. Of course, as I'm reeling it in, GoPro footage. As soon as I get the thing up on my boat, beep, 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 battery dies. I'm like, I don't want to catch a turtle, but if I'm going to catch a turtle, I need the content for YouTube.
Right.
Battery dies. So don't have the footage of me getting this thing off, but I get it off his nose, off his foot, and he quickly scurries off my kayak, jumps back in. Day is saved. So sucks. Caught one fish and a turtle. Carrie caught nothing. Reeling back, throwing top water. Get a hit. Caught a goddamn gar. The two things I hate catching, I caught one night on top water in this damn canal. Had the same smell. Once again, proving why bass are the perfect trophy fish to catch because they don't slime your hands. They don't leave scales all over you. They don't stink. You know, they have little teeth that I did actually have to, I had to recalibrate my thumb sensor on my cell phone because I had bass thumb so bad I couldn't unlock my screen or any of my apps. It didn't recognize my thumb anymore. I literally had to reprogram my thumb to my new bass thumbprint. And so,
Nice.
Caught a turtle, caught that. Went out last night, caught maybe 1 or 2 2-pounders, but the wind's just been so bad. We're getting gusts like 22 miles an hour winds. So I'm out there trying to top water.
Yeah.
I'm just getting blown back. She, meanwhile, Carrie's zipping around in her little pedal kayak, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
So the pedal kayak is cool. We're going to do a review on it, but basically we figured out if you're going to get a Hobie pedal kayak, don't get the Outback because it's basically a $400 kayak with a $1,200 pedal system on it. It comes with dry storage with no sock, no bin. You just open it up and there's the inside of the boat. They couldn't even give you a $30 bin to put in there.
See, mine actually, I bought mine at the same place.
Now,
My kayak is a little more expensive.
I was wondering if they would, like, since we used it twice, like, what kind of hit would we take if we brought it, traded it in on a better one? I mean, they're just going to turn it to a rental anyhow. It's not like they're going to lose their money.
Well, I actually had talked to the owner there, and kind of a shout out because they'll work with you a little bit. And with working with you, I mean, I went in there, I got the kayak, and I got the paddle, and the nice paddle. I think it's aqua something, but it's like a $200 paddle, and the kayak is pretty damn expensive too.
Mm-hmm. But to be fair, you do have the most durable, heaviest, stable kayak for stand-up fishing that you don't use it for on the market.
Yes.
Never stood up on it one time, other than a piss.
I between the kayak and the paddle and everything, and talking to him, and just kind of conversating with him, I was like, "Look, man, I got $2,000. Can you sell me this stuff?" And he was like, "Absolutely." So he worked a deal with me. Kind of give him a little bit of a shout out. They're kind of like a hole in the sticks, kind of little place. Right
They basically
that,
started out. They have a nice, cool. Their dock's sweet as hell because it does not rise
Yeah.
when the tide comes up. So when you're coming in at night, you can just slide right up on that bitch.
Yeah,
They started out as just a kayak rental joint, and they turned into a kayak vendor, and they're probably one of the biggest kayak vendors in this area.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they carried what I wanted in stock, and I mean, going back to how they were going to work with you was, I bought the paddle from him, and I said, what size do you think? Just trying to get all this stuff figured out, and he was like, try this. This seems like it would work with your stature and how tall you are and stuff like that.
Plus, you got to
And
also
type
take
of kayak.
consideration how high off the water you are and the width of your kayak.
Exactly. And he was like, try this size. He said, if it doesn't work, bring it back to me. He said, I'll swap it out and give you a bigger size or a smaller size or whatever. So
Sure.
I mean, he was willing to work with me, even though it was a used paddle, because they probably would have just taken that and used it for their rental company
Yeah.
anyway. So it's not a big loss to them, but
Oh, the other disappointing thing, we took the Hobie out one time, at the end of the night, the Hobie logo had curls in it, and I thought it was like a protected coating, kind of like you have on your washing machine.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
the fucking sticker was already coming off the boat.
Wow.
First use. Once again, $400 kayak, $1,200 pedal.
That's not saying a whole lot about Hobie.
No, it's not going to be a good video. I mean, she enjoys it, she likes it, but she instantly, day 2, had regret. She wished she would have got the 12-footer. She wished she would have got the next model up. And the fact that, it doesn't come with a dry storage for the dry storage bin. You have to send them $35 to get the insert for it.
Yeah.
Just put the fucking insert in a boat. It's 38
Yeah, I
cents
mean-
worth of formed plastic for you guys. After all,
Mine
your
doesn't-
Hobie, for God's sakes.
Yeah, mine doesn't either, but I can buy it. But mine is a specially molded one, so I can't use.
No, this is just a
like
regular
generic-
round hatch. It pops open.
Yeah,
It's just looking there as a sticker says. Basically, it says, Hobie puts foam for stability. But it's a nice way of saying, hey, stupid, don't remove the styrofoam from inside this boat. it's,
Right.
it's more, it's a nicer version of that. And so, got the new seat.
nice.
Thinking about putting a rudder system on it because I see how well her rudder works, and I think it would really help me track straighter, especially when I'm standing up. Problem I have when I stand up is that my boat tends to just turn, and I just go the opposite direction. So I'm hoping if I put the rudder system on there, I'll stay straighter. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, I don't want to go back to the old anchors that we use. I'm thinking about just get one of those sticks that you stick in there and you tie off to your boat.
You want to get
Because
real crazy?
Because I'm just going to put it on the other paddle side, put it on the paddle holder on the other side. I don't put my paddle on, so I can just take it off and just. Because most of the water we fish in anyhow is 2 feet deep and the stick's 6 foot
Yeah.
tall, so I just stick it in there, and instead of trying to undrag, conventional hook style anchors, which just tears up the environment underneath you anyhow.
What I'd like to get eventually, and this is when I kind of get back into the swing of kayak and fishing and stuff like that, is the Power Pole makes a micro anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And my brand of kayak, which is a can't even think of the name of it right now.
Bonafide. He's
It's a
bonafide. He's a
SS
suitor.
Bonafide SS.
Literally, every time I try to think of your kayak name, I think of "Oh brother, where art thou?" Where it's
Yeah.
the Warby twins.
But it's a Bonafide SS 127, one of the biggest and baddest freaking kayaks.
Thing
you
weighs
can get.
100
It's
pounds
not
empty.
empty. It's not, the most expensive kayak that you can get. It's not the cheapest kayak that you can
And it's
get.
not the widest, because some of those ones are like $3,000. This thing's like fucking 5 feet wide, and you can
Yeah.
do a square dance on top of them.
Yeah, I forget exactly how wide it is, but it's one of their claim is that it is one of, if not the most stable kayak in the industry.
To the point where they put grip tape on the nose of it, so you can
Yeah.
stand on it.
Yeah, not saying that it's not going to move or
Yeah.
that it's not going to sink into the water a little bit, but you won't fall out and you won't flip it over. It takes a lot to flip it over. But They when they designed it, they put the what are those little things?
Scuppers.
Screw? No, not scupper. The these little lag bolt nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what they're
Inserts,
called.
nut-serts.
Nut inserts. They put those in the back, and it's the exact bolt pattern for the Power Pole Micro.
The Von Hunks had those inserts over top of a divot because it was designed to put the rod in there that you can clamp a trolling motor onto.
Yeah. And then there's another company out there called One Objective Fishing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of custom products, usually out of like ABS plastic and things like that.
Yeah.
They make a lot of adapter plates, and they make them for probably make them for Vibe. I know they make them for Bonafide, Hobie.
Are you talking about the little kind of look like the impeller off of a Wave Runner? Have you seen those? They make one for the Vibe. You clamp it onto the rudder system for the Vibe 120, and it's basically an underwater fan, and it has a cord and a power pack you put on the kayak, and it basically it's a troller motor without the troller motor. It's almost like a kind of like what the scuba divers hang on to.
Yep.
But you mount it on the rudder, and it just pushes you.
I think it's Torpedo.
Something like that.
I think is who makes it, and yeah, it's a jet drive system that is used for propulsion for the kayak. But yeah, there's all kinds of there's like I said, looking up like manufacturers and stuff, and I found One Objective made a lot of stuff for a lot of different kayaks. They make adapter plates and things, so they actually make one where you can put the Power Pole Micro with the adapter plate, and then you can also put in your rudder system, and I think you can put in something else.
Now, for those of you playing at home, the Power Pole is basically a 7-foot tall, straight fiberglass flagpole that sticks out the back of your kayak. Then when you get to where you want to be, you hit a key fob, and it just has a little motor. It goes, and it puts that pole. Yep. It's an electrical version of the thing I was talking about where you just plant a pole in the ground, but it does it automatically with a key fob.
Yep, and you just have to have a 12-volt power source. But,
speaking of propulsion,
hey.
If you guys want to help propel our show and our channel to bigger, better things, please head over to d-410.com or the what'sinyourhead.com. Click on the Patreon link and sign up and subscribe. It only costs you $1 a month, and if you do, you'll automatically get entered into our regular, not monthly, but regular prize giveaways. And I want to announce tonight's prize giveaway because we pulled the name yesterday, but due to failure on the staff of the interns here at D-410, I got a name or two into the bucket. Actually, it was a canteen. And the first winner we draw, we got excited because he's a longtime subscriber because we started Patreon back in 2019, and he signed up in 2021. And he won, but then when I went to contact him, I realized that his account had been inactive for a couple months, and he was no longer a Patreon, and so he's not a winner. Had to redraw tonight, which is kind of cool because it gives our active patrons 2 more chances because we're going to do 2 giveaways this month. And this is for the What's the Scuttlebutt coffee mug along with the Warbird coffee. The first winner gets to pick the coffee he wants, and we also send him an autograph and 1 grand clip, some stickers, yada, yada, yada. So anyhow.
You have to be an active Patreon subscriber.
Doesn't mean you have to sign up. You could have signed up a week ago. I don't care. We're not going to do this, and we got to be active sign up for 30 days. No, you sign up fucking today, you're in it. So anyhow, today's winner, I already put up the video. He's been a Patreon subscriber since November 28th, 2021, so over 2 years. He is active on his subscription, Mr. Alexander Richard Marshall. So congratulations to you, sir. I will be reaching out to you through Patreon. Chances are you've already seen the video I posted. Make sure your address is up to date, and we will let you pick which one of the coffee you want. The only 2 real difference is the strength of caffeine. One of them is pegged to the floor. The other one's a caffeine level 3, and we will get that sent out to you. The next giveaway is probably going to be based more around this podcast. We're going to get with you and Gordon, figure out what we want to give away. That'll probably happen in a month or so. And so big things are coming. So congratulations to you once again, Mr. Alexander Richard Marshall, for being the first round winner of the Patreon prize pick for the month of May, including the Warbird coffee, the What's the Scuttlebutt coffee mug, the end block that's autographed by Mr. Jeff Copsetta, Henry Sledge, and myself, some stickers, and maybe a few other things. So congratulations to you. Want to get that out of the way. And once again, all you got to do is head over to d-410.com, or if you're already a Patreon member, just look for Digital 410 on Patreon. Subscribe, costs you $1 a month. If you do sign up for the $7.50 a month plan, you will get a free T-shirt after 2 months. I just sent one of those out too, and so we do make good on those. Sometimes, I might fall a little behind, depending on how much insanity is going on in my house. But we're pulling our shit together.
Typical insanity for you.
Yeah. So I already talked about the turtle. So Carrie and I
Yeah.
got a roof fixed. Check that off the
Right.
list. Volkswagen was dropped off on 4/1/2023. For those of
Okay.
you looking at calendars saying, well, Don, that's well over 30 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped the Tundra off on Monday.
Ooh.
So 2 adults, 2 cars, both of them in the shop. We had a Nissan Altima, but the fine people over at Progressive only give you up to X amount of money for car rental, which, by the way, if I lived in Kentucky, I'd probably get another 2 weeks. But down here in Florida, regardless if you go on a app like Toro, where I rented my car for $19 a day up in Ohio for a week, between $46 and $60 a day in Southwest Florida due to tourism. So as you can imagine, the money that they allocate for rental cars gets sucked up pretty fucking quick. So,
Very quick.
the fine people are over at the auto glass place and repair, trying to get the Volkswagen back to us by Monday, hopefully. Carrie and I only work one street and one canal over, so I've just been going to work a half hour early, drop her off. Sadly for her, she has to hang out around work 2 extra hours, and then I pick her up and we come home and do all that. So I got the Tundra's dropped off. I got a Tacoma, and we're driving back in Tacoma, which I forgot how small they were. I used to have 2 of them, and when I showed up on Tuesday, my boss walked in, and he looked at my parking spot. He said, "Looks like your Tundra had a baby." I said, "Yeah." We're driving down Del Prado, and there's a car in front of us and has the cute little sticker of the little girl walking her at on a leash. For all you Star Wars nerd, 4-legged walker. Is that the at or is that the 2-legged walker? And how you fucking Warsies know to steal a phrase from Stan, you Star Wars fella. And they had the little Rebel Alliance badge down on the bottom. The lady's driving between the ages of 28 and 34. Hefty chicks, it's kind of hard to tell. When I say she was sucking her thumb, I'm not saying she was chewing on her fingernail and I'm just trying to turn it into something it wasn't. She was balls deep on her fucking thumb. It was
like a 2-knuckler.
It was down to where the bottom, where the L forms, where the shaft turns into the horse. She was balls deep on this fucking thumb. And then, while her thumb was in her mouth, her index finger came around like a little worm and made its way into her nose. And I looked at Carrie, and Carrie's like, I'm like, get your phone. We got to TikTok this. But she's too nice to embarrass people like that. I'm all about the content myself.
Hell yeah.
But I looked at her, I said, where was this woman's mom when she was 6, smacking her fucking hand saying, quit fucking sucking your thumb, let alone the nose picking? But she was multitasking. She wasn't about to put anybody's life in danger by driving with her knees so she could pick her nose with one hand while sucking. No, this was a move of a pro. This wasn't the first time she pulled the balls deep on her thumb, bringing the snaky index finger. I personally would have probably done the pinky, but I got a bigger hand. I probably would have fished in there with a pinky while my thumb was
a little more comfortable.
my thumb was preoccupied. But she kind of did it like the nervous little snaky, like looking around. I was like, anybody looking? Nobody looking? And she's doing this while driving, so we're able to watch her. So now I'm driving, watching her, put my life in danger. And she's just digging for gold while fucking deep throating that thumb, man. She's probably flicking that little dilly bopper in the back of your throat with her fucking thumbnail, just going to town on it.
Dilly
I'm just like, what is that, your uvula? What are the fucking...
uvula,
the dilly bopper. So she's doing a speed bag on the dilly bopper in her throat with her thumb while she's finger picking her nose. And I'm just like... I told Carrie, I said, I guarantee you if she wasn't sucking her thumb and picking her nose, she would have a mask on. I can fucking see it. To be this age and laying in your... And the only one in the car, too. It's not like she's in the passenger seat while mom was driving, like she had some sort of deficiency. No, this woman was driving down the street, just speed bagging that dilly bopper and doubling down on the nose picking routine. It's like, holy fuck, man.
This bitch pays bills and pays taxes. What the fuck is going on?
Look, You work in the service industry, you get crud up your nose, and every once in a while you got to just dig that shit out. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. But to suck on your thumb, one can make the argument. I will lay this down right here, right now. I will give you one infant activity. You only get one infant activity. You want to suck your thumb? Fine. You want to pick your nose? Fine. But you can't have both. You can't. You're 30. You can't have both, and especially simultaneously while operating a vehicle on, by the way, the most dangerous road in Cape Coral. There's at least 3 accidents on this road a fucking day. And maybe that's why she's doing it. Maybe she needed soothing. Maybe the speed bag, deep threading on the thumb while picking her nose simultaneously, took her back to the days of watching Saturday morning cartoons. And I just had a horrible thought. When she was younger and skinny, she was probably one of those. When she was younger and skinnier and more flexible, she's probably one of those kids that chewed on her toenails.
Ooh.
You know the type. You've seen them. Your sister probably did it. But now she's fat and old and deep throating her thumb while picking her nose simultaneously. It's like, come on, lady. At least tint your windows. Give yourself some privacy.
Well, these are the type of people that, like, have you seen the younger generation, even some of my generation, the younger ones, pacifier? Well, literally a pacifier.
This is going to cost. We're going to get dinged for this. This video will probably get taken down for bullying and harassing, but I'm going to say it anyhow. If you're wearing a mask in 2023, especially in the state of Florida, you're not wearing it for health reasons unless you're 80. If you're 20, 30, unless you have autoimmune deficiency disease and you have fucking childhood leukemia or early onset fucking leukemia, if you're a physically healthy person, not saying mentally, but physically healthy person, and you're wearing a mask in 2023, it's not because you're worried about getting a fucking pandemic. It's a pacifier. It pacifies you to hide your face and to hide yourself from the public at large. I've said this before. When in the 90s, I used to participate in after-school activities through the school where we would get people, like when I was in high school, we would get middle school kids and, especially the ones that are from poor families or having problems in school, and try to show them, hey, after school, this financial shit doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't judge the other kids in school because they don't have money. We're all fucking normal people. And one of the phrases used in those touchy-feely, environments where you're trying to, form fuzzies, positive reinforcements is, let your mask down. Let your proverbial mask down. Let the world see you for who you are. Stop trying to hide behind clothing because that's what they wear on fucking TV shows, or stop listening to music you don't like because that's what the cool kids. Let your mask down. Reveal your true self. Be your true self, and people will like you. This is a socially physical version of that. These people are literally wearing a mask so they can hide themselves because they have, whether it's low self-esteem, social anxiety, what have you. It is it's not a mask. It's not a binky, but it's a pacifier. It pacifies something in them. These are the same people that you would see wearing the hoods up or having their hair down and around their face. They would find some other socially acceptable way of hiding themselves in public before masks were allowed.
Yeah.
And now that's why they're holding on to it. I truly believe this. It's a pacifier. It's not obviously not a health device. It's been proven it's not. But yeah, it's truly a pacifier. And I feel sorry for those people. Take the mask off and just fucking go out and just worry about you. Don't worry about what you think people think about you in fucking public, unless you're one of those people who smell like onions because you refuse to wear deodorant. You need to go to the fucking deodorant aisle. But the rest of you, don't worry about what judgmental people like myself think. Just be you. Take the mask off, proverbial and real, and just let your freak flag fly. There's no better time than 2023 to let your freak flag fly and not get judged for it. So lose the mask, slap a smile on, even if you have summer teeth, and just enjoy it. You know what summer teeth are?
No.
Some are yellow, some are brown, some are missing. Summer teeth. Yeah, so even if you have summer teeth, just...
Fuck you, Don.
These are words that were instilled to me by my stepfather in Kentucky as a child, okay?
Bringing it back to beans, huh?
I can't be responsible for using such phrases as summer teeth or phrases like I'd rather be dead than red on the head. These are things that were instilled into me by my Kentuckian stepfather. So yes, let your mask down, slap on a smile, Maybe put in some earbuds if you're worried, or do what Carrie does: pinch the shit out of your partner if you have one. She don't like to be out in public. She just pinches the shit out of me the whole time as a stress relief. It's my job to get pinched, poked, and prodded.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let your freak flag fly. Be you. Don't
Be
give
free.
a shit about.
Do what you want to do.
don't-
Be what you
don't-
want to be.
Yep.
Look at me with
Don't
all the
let
ICP references. And if you know that fucking reference, good on you, because that's a deep pull.
Yeah.
That's an import single deep pull.
Do all that. Be out there. Don't let people get you down and all that shit. But that's not going to stop people from talking shit about you or fucking saying something behind your back.
I used to say this
We're
on
fucking,
Stan and Haney
you know-
so much. The biggest disservice ever performed on a generation, and that's the generation we're seeing now, is zero tolerance in school. I'm not talking about the gun stuff. Well, yes, I am a little bit. Kid chews a fucking Pop-Tart in the shape of a gun, you expel him. Fuck you. But more importantly, the zero tolerance on bullying. Now, once again, I'm not saying I justify kids punching kids in the mouth, but verbal bullying to an extent is not only should be allowed, but it's necessary.
Well, and I
You're a
agree.
monster, Don.
And
You're
here's
a proponent for kids verbally assaulting one another.
here's the thing. Physical,
No
no
mas.
tolerance. Don't fucking put your hands on my kid.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Don't keep your hands to yourself. That's
What if she
the
calls
thing
my
that-
mother a whore? Is she?
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing that was instilled in us when we were in school. I'm a little younger than you. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch anybody else.
Don't
You
hand me
know,
no
don't-
lines and keep
you know,
your
all
hands
that-
to yourself.
All that shit, right? But when it came to talking shit, yeah, people are going to talk shit about you. People are
You
going to
need
fucking
it.
make fun of you. People are going to
You need
and-
it.
and-
It's the self-esteem equivalent of your white blood cells. Your immune
Yeah.
system gets stronger. Not only do your skin get thicker, not only do you realize after time that these people are full of shit, and the only reason they're saying this is because they feel bad about themselves.
right.
But in most cases, it develops a young man, usually, ability for a snappy, witty comeback in no time flat.
Yeah.
It allows them to defend themselves verbally. But more importantly, elementary school, okay, I can understand that, but that's where the development really starts in the thick skin. Middle school sucks enough, but it's still needed. But why is it needed? If you're listening to this and you're thinking what we're saying is out of line, you don't understand it, do me a favor and look around your environment. Are you sitting in a cubicle in a corporate environment? Are you teaching school? Are you in a college environment? Or are you on a work site, warehouse, manufacturing facility, anywhere with a bunch of blue-collar dudes who didn't go to college work? Maybe the kind of guy who gets up and drinks 3 beers before he shows up at work and drinks 9 more before he gets home. Those guys are not going to be happy with their station in life. Especially if they're 40 and you're 18 and you're making as much as they do with inflation and minimum wage increases. They're bitter. They're pissed. And you're going to waddle onto that site making almost as much as they did after they've been working there 20 years and hit the ceiling. But now with minimum wage increases, the new guy who doesn't know his asshole from his fucking elbow makes almost as much money as you. I'm going to take it out on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not going to college, you're not going to go into academics, you're not going to go into corporate world, you're not going to be working web development from your house, you need these skills because the bullying only gets worse. And you need to have the skill set that you learned as a child to let it roll off your back and to stick it back to them. And it is a necessary skill that people need. And the people that we see get made fun of through memes and media and even our show, it's not their fault. It's the school's fault. It's their parents' fault. It's the helicopter parents.
Yep.
It'd be the equivalent of taking an entire generation and not allowing them to go to the public pool and then being pissed off that we don't have a gold medal Olympic swim team for fucking 20 years because we won't
Right.
let any of the kids learn how to swim. It's the
Right.
same thing. It's our fault for not allowing them into the pool. And that carries over to the working. I don't want to work here. Why not? Old guy's mean to me. So I want to work from home. I don't need to work from home. And I'm seeing more and more of this, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is very important. I got to get this message out. I saw it so much after the pandemic, especially you cats living in California, New York, Chicago, Illinois.
Major cities.
Any of these, if you live in a place where a studio apartment costs $1,600 to $2,000 a month of rent, don't even mention the word remote work. You show up that fucking office, you slap a smile on your face, you throw your summer teeth out there, and you do your job. And here's why. You got hired at that job. You were clearly the best of the people who applied for that job locally or through Monster.com that they got interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you're the best of that job in the world. And guess
Everybody's
what?
replaceable.
Your salary, a good portion of it, is based on the cost of living and the location in which you're paying your rent or your mortgage. And so when you go to work and you're paying $1,500, $2,000 a month for an apartment in New York City, Chicago, LA, Boston, where have you, and you keep telling your boss, I don't need to be here, I can do this from work, I can do this from home, I can do this from home. At some point your boss will say, yeah, you can. But you know who else can do your job at home? This chick I just interviewed in Kentucky last week. Her husband inherited some land. He fancies himself a farmer. She went to college for the same thing you did, but can't leave Kentucky. Oh, and by the way, the average mortgage there is $1,200 a month, not $2,500 a month. The average grocery bill is half of what it is here. So instead of paying your ass 70, 80 grand a year, she would be happier than dog shit for 62 grand a year. Or this person lives in the Philippines. They would be living like high on the hog for $40,000 a year instead of the $120 I'm paying you. Yep. So you may have been the best person who applied for that job at that location, but there's probably someone better than you somewhere in the world who has a lower cost of living and would be completely stoked and excited to get a quarter to half of what you're getting paid because of the salary based on your super expensive cost of living.
Yep.
And you're going to talk yourself out of a job, and your shit's going to end up moving to one of those towns anyhow because you won't be able to afford to live in those overinflated price places. So if you're one of these cats, man, you're stuck on working at home, and your boss wants you in, shut up and show up. Or someone who would be more than happy to get paid to do that job for a hell of a lot cheaper, because your hell of a lot cheaper is a lot more money than they get offered working in any place in their town.
Especially if you consider it a moderately easy job.
Yeah, data entry.
You know,
web development.
Something that
I'm good at WordPress. I can put in paragraphs and photographs. I went to school for this. Yeah, well, and so does every high schooler who grew up in the last 20 years. They don't know how to use WordPress.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a skill to be able to know how to learn, or to have learned to build computers and towers.
He's not saying he thought it was a skill to learn English, because clearly he fucking failed that class. But
apparently,
I
didn't do well in high school.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be a good skill to have.
Nope.
Every
12-year-old,
everybody younger than me can do it.
You're no offense. No, I'm not saying this to mechanics. If you're a fucking transmission mechanic, engine mechanic, you're a mechanic, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're working at Jiffy Lube, changing oil and filling air every day, this applies to you. I realized after 10 years of repairing a computer, I was a modern day grease monkey.
Yep.
Back in the day, you would change brakes, change oil, do basic maintenance on a car. You can get a job, make some decent money at it, but as time grew by, my dad's generation grew up in the 70s, working on cars in their friends' garages. The jobs where people do, once again, I'm not talking about replacing head gaskets, fucking master cylinders on clutches, transmission. No, I'm talking about changing tires, brake pads, and oil. Your entry-level fucking mechanic, Jiffy Lube jobs. They don't even do brakes, I don't think. But anyhow, I'm new age mechanic. That's why I got more into the networking side. I tell people, my kid's good at building computers. He's good at troubleshooting computers. Should he go to school for computers? No. He should go to school to write code. That's a fucking job that pays a lot of money.
Yep.
As much as I hate it, artificial intelligence is an expanding field. Or networking, firewalls, switches, MSP work, stuff I do. There's money in that. especially nowadays.
New stuff needs to be built, and people want their
And
privacy
old
protected.
stuff needs to be thrown away.
Yep.
When after 2008, we kind of transitioned from being a computer repair shop to a IT firm, me and my father, before we closed up 10 years later. And my dad was teaching, he was the head of the local business networking place. And one of his members said, hey, my nephew just started a computer repair shop up in, I don't know, Kentucky or Ohio or somewhere. And he's having problems getting people willing to pay his bills. His invoices. My dad's like, well, what do you mean? What's he doing? Well, he goes to someone's house. He spends 5-6 hours there and hands them a bill for $500 for virus cleanup. My dad said, well, obviously, no one's going to pay you $500 to do virus cleanup on a computer they can replace for $200.
Yeah.
Computers don't cost $1,000. When I bought my first compact Basari, the monitor cost me $900 and the tower cost me fucking $900. So, yeah, you may pay someone $350 to fix a $1,200 system.
Yep.
Now when you can buy a brand new fucking laptop for $300, which is why even when I was doing computer repair, I would show up at a place for 30 minutes, say, hey, I'm going to take this back to my office. I can work on 12 computers simultaneously. I'll do it for a flat rate of $110 at the time, regardless if it takes me 3 hours or 2 days. Or I can sit here and charge you $100 an hour. Which one do you want it to be? Because I got bills to pay. And every time, take it. Take it with you. And the other thing I found out, too, is when it comes to computer repair, you're a beer stein repairman and the world's an alcoholic. I would have people who only had one beer stein, and you'd have it on your bench for 2 hours and already calling you got it fixed yet? I gotta get my fix. So yeah. MSP, you know, like where I work now, we deal with primary medical offices. And computer gets 3 or 4 years old, the way we have everything rolled out, everything's backed up, everything's imaged, it's like, this computer is problematic. We've already looked at 4 or 5 times. Fuck it. Replace it. Don't repair it. Don't it. Time you sent it to me or took it to your local repair shop, put a new hard drive in it, pay them labor, pay us to reload everything in it. You're still going to have that same machine that's slow and sluggish, that's 8 years old. Replace it. And so that's why you're seeing less and less mom and pop computer repair shops, because the work's not there. Just like you don't see VCR and DVD repairs anymore. I mean, you just...
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice advantage to, you know, uploading in the cloud and things like that, especially for large systems like that, is all that stuff is backed up onto a server somewhere, and the computer the computer is just, you know, to basically pull it from there so that you can utilize that information. Because
when it comes to businesses, the money's in the configuration and the data.
Yeah.
And once you have them set up where that data and that configuration can be restored relatively quickly, it greatly reduces the value of the computer in which it's running on. And plus, everything's on the cloud now anyhow, so all you need is a good processor and fucking RAM, and, you know, most the important data stored on a server. So if the computer does crash, you're just going to wipe it anyhow, because there shouldn't be any valuable data on that computer.
I would think that computers will eventually become obsolete.
When I went to school for computers to get my MCP, my MCSE, and my CCNA back in 2002, 22 fucking years ago, the professor said, if Microsoft had their way, no one would own a computer. Everything would be stored in the cloud. 20 years ago, people outside the IT world didn't know what a cloud was. It's a fancy way of saying you're going to store your shit on someone else's computer and they're going to charge you for it.
Yep.
And where are we at? Everybody puts shit on OneDrive, SharePoint, Google Drive, Apple Cloud. Everybody's pretty much storing their shit on the cloud. Another 10 years from now, all your photos are stored on Facebook and Instagram. You can download your entire album in one download.
Yep.
So you don't really have to worry about storing your photos on your hard drive. All your documents are on SharePoint, Google Drive, OneCloud, or Apple. So there's no reason to worry about. So hypothetically, unless you're an old guy like me that has 5,000 songs that you downloaded in the late 90s, what do you need your computer for? Or unless you're recording podcasts, it would cost me a fortune to store all these podcasts in the cloud. I have 2 terabytes worth of data on my computer, and I got about 50 gigs free. I have 2 terabytes. That's, for those of you playing at home, that's 24,484 gigs of fucking data between YouTube videos and audio files for podcasting.
Well, and what's interesting is if you're talking about like networking, for like hospitals or big businesses and stuff like that, having an iPad, a tablet, something like that, putting the app on it, downloading all your information. Like our system at work, they built their own system. They have their own IT department. They have their own app. Everything runs through their main server.
Yep.
They have a desktop application, and they have apps on the phones and the tablets that they give us. And all I have to do is fill out an email.
Yep.
And it sends it back into the server. The server converts it into data for the application, and all that information just gets stored right in that application and on the server.
On the same topic of computers, but we're running a little long here. I'm going to take care of the news because Gordon's unavailable. Local beat. You're familiar with Southwestern Florida Technical College. It's the one right there on Colonial.
Maybe.
Right behind the 7-Eleven.
Sure.
It's a place my daughter went when she moved down here to take IT classes to learn how to do networking and high-end stuff to come work for me. And after about 6 months and some student loans, they shut the program down because their teacher left and they couldn't replace them. So now my daughter works at Bob Evans with some student loans for half a computer repair course that she couldn't finish because the credits aren't transferable. So I wouldn't exactly say I was sad to read this story, but it's still a fucked up story. Southwest Florida Technical College is targeted by swatting calls. Now, for those of you who don't know your tech lingo or your computer nerd lingo, swatting is when someone calls the SWAT team and claims something nefarious is going on in your location. A lot of times it happens to online gamers who are streaming on Twitch and someone figures out their IP address and they're butthurt that they got their ass kicked in Call of Duty. And so then they call a terrorist threat in saying that my brother's being held hostage, and the SWAT team comes in and fucking raids the guy while he's streaming live online. Yeah, that's called swatting. The campus of Southern Technical College in Fort Myers was evacuated Tuesday morning after what police say was a swatting call. Another targeted Cape Coral Technical College. That's a weird sentence. The campus of Southern Technical College in Fort Myers was evacuated Tuesday morning after what police said was a swatting call, another targeted Cape Coral Technical. Maybe that was supposed to be a hyperlink that the web developer who's working at home fucked up on, because that does not add anything to the sentence because that college is in Fort Myers, not Cape Coral. Anyhow, along with these Southwest Florida colleges, four other. Okay, so maybe what they're trying to say is that on Tuesday morning, the Southern Technical College in Fort Myers, as well as the Cape Coral Tech, which used to be called High Tech, were a target of swatting. Along with these Southwest Florida colleges, four other campuses elsewhere in South Florida appeared to have been targeted as well. Palm Beach Atlantic University in West Palm Beach, Florida International University in Miami, Indian River State College, Massey campus, and the Fort Pierce College in Hollywood. Now, why? Usually swatting is a result of someone being upset at a location. What could these 5 colleges possibly have done to just somebody being a dick? Well, I don't understand what the overall purpose of this would be.
The motive.
Well, yeah, what would the motive be? It'd be one thing if this was your college and they cut your course and you got fucking credits you can't use and student loan payments. And okay, we're going to evacuate the place. But why 5 different colleges at the same time? Makes no difference. I mean, it makes no sense. It's just weird. But
is that kind of the end of the story?
That's the full in-depth reporting from Link News. That's it. No,
so they don't have any
sources from the police. No, we're working on this.
Wow.
Just they were swatted and evacuated. Some half-assed sentence about the Cape Coral Technical College, which they didn't complete, and that was the full story.
Outstanding.
You know, I saw a post from somebody I worked in radio with on Facebook before I went online, and she said, I won't say where, but a local news place. Let me pull up Facebook. I want to get this quote right, and this will answer why that story was as bad as I just read it as. And no, it's not my whine and me not being able to read. I can read halfway decent when I need to. Let me switch over to that. Type in her name. There we are. There we are. So
just one of the Night Girls.
She used to work with me. She worked at 99X and worked at K-Rock. Now she has like the #1 afternoon show at one of the adult contemporary places.
Nice.
Newscast director, won't say where, but locally, $15 to $17 an hour. Digital media content producer for for the stations you watch, who probably either Wink News, NBC, or Fox, local Fox, $15 an hour, and you wonder why your news sucks. So, I guess when you're paying people to write up news stories on the old fucking winknews.com, you're paying someone $15 to $17 an hour. That convoluted bullshit sentence I read is exactly why it's an incomplete story.
That's what you get.
That's what you get, what you pay for.
Yep.
Those used to be like $40,000 a year jobs starting out. Now they're like $12,000 a year if you're lucky. It's insane.
Everything's flip-flopped. The important good jobs don't pay worth a shit, and the shitty fucking starter entry-level jobs fucking are starting to pay millions.
That's because that's where most of them are going. Now time for some propaganda. Russia claims...
Uh-oh.
See what I mean by propaganda? Russia claims it foiled a Putin assassination attempt by Ukrainian drone.
Damn it.
This comes from New York Post. Hopefully they pay more than $17 an hour, and hopefully the story will be better written. Let's find out. Russia accused Ukraine Wednesday of attempting a drone strike on the Kremlin aimed at assassinating the country's strongman leader, Vladimir Putin.
Strongman leader.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where they put their little jabs in there. But hey, it's the New York Post. A video of the alleged incident shows a bright explosion over the massive complex, which housed Putin's residence, but Russian embassy officials said no one was killed or even injured. The president was not, quote, now there's going to be a little translation here. The president has not suffered in this terrorist attack, the embassy said on Telegram. His working schedule remains unchanged, and he follows his ordinary course. Russia said the military and state security services used radar systems to, quote, disable 2 drones on the Kremlin's grounds without causing any casualty and or damage. I guess they assume the Russian people are too poor to afford some DJI Mavic mini drones, so it has to be the Ukrainians, right? It wouldn't be one of their unsatisfied citizens. In fact, the radar may have only detected the drones with the explosions resulting from Russia's self-defense. In fact, the radars may have only detected the drones with the explosions resulting from the Russian self-defense missile knocking one of the crafts out in the air, defense analysts have told the Post. Another video, which appears to have been taken from the neighborhood that faces the Kremlin from across the Mozaka River, shows what looked like smoke rising over the Kremlin. Text that accompanied the video, which was shared on Telegram, said that the residents of the nearby apartment building reported hearing bangs and seeing the smoke at about 7:30 a.m. There's a photo here. It almost looks like the Christmas star flying over the Kremlin. It's just a big, bright white light. The Kremlin in the statement said it reserves the right to retaliate for the strike. Yeah, because there's so much undamaged property you can blow up in fucking Ukraine right now, which it considers a planned terrorist attack, an attempt on our president. However, Putin was not there. He was busy riding riding a horse, shirtless, and 30 pounds overweight. I added that last part because New York Post isn't that brave. But light news, because why not? Boy, these guys are hating life, aren't they?
Mm.
I really want to get into a story, but we're like so long. My whole maybe I'll talk about this next week. My whole hypothesis with the Bud Light thing is they didn't learn from Airwalk. Airwalk shoes, we'll talk about next week. St. Louis. Anheuser-Busch is now telling retail customers that the recent controversies is just a tempest in a pint glass. I love puns. In a letter to wholesalers that were forwarded to some local bars and restaurants, the brewery addressed a backlash over the marketing campaign featuring transgendered social media influencer Dylan Mulvaney, which, by the way, a little time out, we definitely ain't going to see the show because I understand YouTube is like burying shows that mention the name. Everybody wants to say this is a trans thing. I just want to point one thing out. Have you seen any of this dude's content?
Not really.
You seen pictures of him?
Yep.
How old do you think he is? Based on how he dresses and acts.
Doesn't even look old enough to drink. 22.
The dude's 26 years old.
Really?
But is he dressing like a 26-year-old woman? No. He's dressing and acting like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people have a problem with it, but I digress. Quote, this was a... And I did... This is true, because this goes back to when the story broke. People just overlooked it. campaign featuring transgender social media influence What's His Nuts, which led to the steep decline in Bud Light sales over the last month. Quote, this was a single can given to one social media influencer, which is true. They weren't selling these cans with her face on it, his face. They didn't even make a 12-pack. It was a single can, kind of like a share this on your Instagram. You know, you see shit on YouTube where a manufacturer will, here's a body armor with Demolition Ranch logo on it. They're not selling it.
Yeah, I think it was like a 16-ounce
It's
can.
Here's our
like that.
product with your shit on it. It'd be like if somebody sent me something like a reproduction M1 Garand like gun case that said what's the scuttlebutt on it. It's not like they manufacture them or putting it out there. It's just here's something cool. We like what you're doing. Talk about it. Give some free plugs. So back to the story. This was a single can given to one social media influencer. The letter said it was not made for production or sale to the general public. This can is not a formal campaign and or advertisement. What's His Dick 26 posted a video on TikTok showing the can of Bud Light with his face on it that was given to him. I know I'm going to cancel left and right because I'm not using the right pronouns, to celebrate his 365 day of girlhood, not womanhood. Girlhood is the campaign he was celebrating. Keep in mind, we're living in a time where people are trying to normalize the phrase MAP, or minor attracted people. They're trying to get us to stop calling these fuckers pedophiles. They want us to use the phrase minor attracted persons.
I was going to say AKA pedophiles.
So this is a 26-year-old celebrating his
Pedophilia.
365th day of girlhood, not womanhood. Girlhood. The videos are her playing with Barbie dolls and running through pink houses in what looks like a Catholic scroll outfit. And by the way, the video of her showing the Bud Light cans, if you know she's in the shower, bathtub, she's not wearing a sports bra. She's not wearing a Victoria's Secret outfit. She's wearing what most parents give their 13-year-old girls as a training, like, half shirt. But anyhow, I digress. Mulvaney26 posted a video on TikTok showing a can of Bud Light with her face on it. Was given to celebrate 361st birthday of girlhood. The video showed her sipping the beer as part of the March Madness and joked that she didn't even know there was a game on. Anheuser-Busch letter was forwarded to retailers, bars, restaurants by Grey Eagle, a Fenton-based company that distributes Anheuser-Busch products to 14 country regions around St. Louis. 14 county. Now that is me. That's not their writing. That is my wank again. Anheuser-Busch products to 14 county regions around St. Louis. Grey Eagle does not distribute to St. Louis, Jefferson County, and parts of Washington. That's more information than we need. Grey Eagle included a cover letter. Anheuser-Busch did not intend to create controversy or make political statement. It said, here's the juxtaposition, here's the brass tacks in here. Quote, in reality, the Bud Light can posted by the social media influencer that sparked all the controversy was provided by an outside agency without Anheuser-Busch's management's awareness and or approval. So now they're kicking the can down the road. They want nothing to do with this thing. Grey Eagle continued in its letter, quote, since that time, the lack of oversight and control over marketing decisions have been addressed, and a new vice president of Bud Light marketing has been announced. So they fired the chick who came up with the whole idea, and they're bringing all promotional decisions now have to be approved by upper management. So yeah, they're really trying to, because dude, I'm seeing these videos like people like go into Walgreens in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And go into the beer cave. Miller Lite, 3/4 of the can's gone. Coors are sold out. Fucking Coronas are gone. Natty Ice, Sam Adams, pan over. Bud Light completely stocked. Now you say, well,
it here.
Maybe they restocked it. Off camera, the Walgreens guy, you see his shirt, but not his face. They want to protect his identity. He said before all this happened, he used to restock the Bud Light Tall Boys, because this is Vegas after all. He said 3 times per shift. Now he does it maybe once every 2 days. They lost last reports are like $5 billion. In the news of the ironic, I know we're getting long, but we'll cut this one short. I just love this headline. Rocket carrying NASA astronauts' cremated remains blow up after launch. Mission fucking accomplished. The guy was already cremated. You're going to send him to space. What a better
Dust in
way
the
to
wind.
spread the ashes of a cremated astronaut than through a rocket explosion. Problem is,
That's how I would want to go.
that wasn't the only thing on the small rocket. This
Oh,
kind of looks like one of those model rockets we used to launch. A small suborbital rocket from the Colorado-based company UP Aerospace failed shortly after launch on Monday, exploding seconds after liftoff over the New Mexico desert. The rocket was carrying over a dozen student experimental payloads for NASA, as well as the cremated remains of a NASA astronaut. So if it wasn't for the fact that they had some experimental homework on there, I would say mission accomplished. We want to spread those ashes, and we did it in a fucking successful way. But I saw that. I'm like, yeah. Can you hear Bailey snoring?
no, noise canceling.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up later. But that's going about to wrap it up for the news in this episode of the What's in Your Head podcast. If you're on YouTube and it got canceled, it's probably because all the bad things we're saying. I'll probably get a nice hand smack on this and threat to lose my monetization for all the horrible things we said about people tonight. But hey, that's what we do here on the What's in Your Head podcast. That's why you want to head over to what'sinyourhead.com. Go to iTunes, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere fine podcasts are found, and download it through the app. And if you do download us through the iTunes app, give us a 5-star review and a nice rating, and that'll go a long way to help Apple share us with everybody else. Once again, congratulations to Alexander Richard Marshall for winning the coffee prize pack. We're going to choose winner number 2 near the end of the month to give people time to register. If you want to register, simply head over to what'sinyourhead.com, d-410.com, or WTSPWorldWar2.com, and click on the Patreon link. Sign up, subscribe. It only costs you $1 a month. And while you're there, please head over to YouTube and hit like, subscribe, and watch some more videos. That'll go to help support what we do here, and it won't cost you a dime, quarter, nickel, and or penny. I used to have the sound effect for that too, but I lost it. But anyhow, for myself, Gordon, who will be back on Wednesday, which, by the way, programming note, if you made it this far, we might get to a point where we're going to start pre-recording these episodes, so we're going to add some production value to them, but we're going to try to do a live episode once a month. So if you're in the chat in the future and we don't answer them back, it's because it's pre-recorded. You have to wait for the live show to talk to us. But anyhow, for myself, Gordon, and Mike, we will talk to you all next Wednesday.
This has been a Digital 410 production.